Hi everyone, it's Brittany here, and I had done a card last week, I think it was. I had shown this, and I had shown the technique with using distress markers, and I had a couple people ask me about using other markers and just plain watercolor and stuff like that. So I thought I would do a video really quick and show you guys kind of some things that I thought, were easier and more accessible, I guess. Obviously, you can color in anything with markers or crayons or whatever you want. I would say for these intricate spaces, because these are really tiny, it would be more what you're comfortable doing. I grabbed some stuff that I think most people have or can get really inexpensively. So for the first thing I'm going to show you guys is with just watercolors. You can use plain Crayola ones. I think you can get some generics at the dollar store. If you are going to use these, I say you should probably get a finer tip paintbrush, just because, especially for these more intricate designs, you're going to want something that can really get in there. And then I also grabbed some Sharpies, and I'll show you guys those, and the Bic markets, which they are different. And then also I grabbed some of these pens. They're called Liquid Flare, and I'll talk more about those kind of as we get there. So first, for the watercolor, I'm going to work on the watercolor paper. And one thing I've noticed is that, you can fill in these, like I said, with whatever medium you would like. I really liked this technique because you can go in and put your distress marker right in the grooves, and then once you add some water, it just spreads right around. So it makes it super easy and just really easy to do it, and not a whole lot of effort or anything like that. Whereas if you just get your paintbrush wet and you get a little bit of watercolor here, you can go in and color these. And I'm going to try and get in frame. My hand might get in the way a little bit. But you're going to have to pay more attention to where you're painting. So you're essentially going to be painting in these lines, which is not a problem if you're a little bit more comfortable doing that. I'm just not always the neatest person for this because I tend to go out of the lines. And hopefully you guys can see this pretty well. So with this, you're just going to have to really control kind of your brush. Now, one of the other techniques that I found when I was practicing these is that if you actually take, let me go wipe my brush real quick. If you actually take the water first, so I'm just going to go in with just water on my brush. There might be a little bit of green, but we'll cover that up. So I'm just going to go in with some water. And you could even do this with the, Tim Holtz water brushes or any of those refillable brushes. And just color the space that you want with water. And then we'll pick up a little bit more water and pick up whatever color you want. And then once you drop that in there, it'll kind of spread wherever you put that water. Now, I don't think I put down quite enough water, but the nice thing about working with these watercolors is that if you make a mistake, you can just take a dry cloth. Here, scoot over, please. You can take a dry cloth and you can blot up your mistakes. So I do think that that's a lot easier. I'll go in kind of here to a more intricate one and add a little bit more water and try and show you guys. Again, you're still going to have to pay a little bit more attention into the lines, but you still have to do that with the markers, really, because you don't want it to get all over the place. So again, once you have that water already laid down in there, your color is going to spread. So there's this technique, and I really, really like this one. I just love the look of the watercolor on these embossing folders. And you can get too much. I did a couple practice ones, and I might have tossed them already. But if it spills over, you don't want that. You want to try and keep it just in those spaces. So there's the first technique here. And now I'm going to move on. I just have some cardstock, plain white cardstock. And I'm going to go in with some Sharpies and some Bics. And I don't know if they come this way, and this is why I made note that they are different. I have had both of these for many, many years, but my Sharpies have more of a nub and my Bics have more of a point, and these have all been used a ton, so I'm not really sure if that's a difference, or I know you can buy Sharpies and fine point and stuff, but That's just what I have. So I'm just going to go in, and again, you can color these. I think it would be really cool. You could even do this with just a regular pen and just color all the outlines. I think that would be kind of really classy looking, as long as you do a good job. Try not to get in the way here. But the problem with these is that when your marker touches the ridges next to it, you're still going to get that color. So that still picks up that purple color even when you're trying to take care not to get it. So you're going to have more of a, I guess I would suggest this for somebody who's a little bit better at staying in the lines and not so much touching there. And same goes with the Sharpie. I don't really care for the Sharpie because it does have this nib. It's okay for like these bigger spaces, but I'm not that great with a marker, I guess. And so we're just going to go in here. So there's that. And, you know, if you're comfortable doing that and you can stay in the lines, I think it's great. I'm not that great at that. And as soon as these markers touch those edges, it's just going to seep right into the edges. And then really quick, I'll show you guys these. I'm not sure if they sell these exact ones anymore, but I'm sure they sell something very similar. And these do work good for these smaller spaces. This is a really bright orange. So you can really get in these grooves here. And it looks really kind of not so cool on there, but it's really bright. And anyways, yeah, and you could go in with these, you know, to these bigger spaces, and you could get more of a sketched look if you just kind of scribbled them in. And that could be cool too. It all just kind of depends on the look you want. And for somebody that doesn't have distress markers, I think any of these would be great techniques, but I do kind of fall towards watercolor. So I would recommend doing it on watercolor paper with watercolor and just lay your water first. So hopefully this helps. Thank you all so much for watching, and I hope you guys have a great day.